All then, Gaurang, on mid-tier IT. Okay, I think we need to go across as the FM speaking.
Below last year's current account deficit. And point number 2, we will finance it fully, safely, without running down reserves. Now, why do I say this? I say this because I believe the long-term investor, the patient capital, continues to repose faith in India's economy. Things, of course, happen in an unexpected manner. What happened on June 22, what happened on July 11. There are some who can move markets without doing anything, simply by hinting at doing something. But these are consequences that we have to bear. We have to factor these unexpected developments while we formulate our policies, and that's precisely what we are doing. And I'm confident that we will contain the current account deficit to a level below last year's current account deficit, and we will finance it in the current year. Now, I know that you play a very important role in bringing the investments to India. I think there is enough liquidity in the world. There's enough money in the world which is looking for safe investment opportunities. I think India remains an attractive destination for investment. Even if some part of the quantitative easing is withdrawn, there will be enough liquidity to finance India's capital requirements. It is for us to take the right decisions, make the right policy choices, so that people will find there are attractive investment opportunities in India. We are working on that. One of the things we are working on is to relax or remove the FDI caps. But that's not the only thing we are working on. We are working on projects. We are fast-tracking infrastructure projects. We are clearing major proposals for airports, for ports, for roads, for railway lines. We have lined up a large number of private sector enterprises whose projects have been stalled. These are being brought to the table, addressed, and if necessary, brought to the Cabinet Committee on Investment for a decision. You ask the private sector, they will tell you that on each one of the projects, we and I personally have spent time discussing with the project promoter what the problems are. We have identified the problems. There's a group whose only task is to address those problems, and if the problem still is intractable, it will be brought to the CCI for clearance. So private sector projects will also move. We have the IDFs, which have started financing projects. There are people who have expressed interest in the IDFs, and I'm sure money will flow into India through the IDFs also. But your role is slightly different. You are risk takers. You're looking for innovative projects. You're looking for that guy, man or woman, who has that spark, who has that intuition, who has that idea which can germinate into a good project. All venture capital is about venturing into the unknown. It's a bit of adventure. But you are there because you like adventure. There are enough entrepreneurs who like adventure. And in the budget, I did make a couple of announcements that will promote venture capital. We announced something for angel investors. We announced something for alternative investment funds. We have made the venture capital a pass-through. And if there are any more issues that deserve to be addressed, that need to be addressed, we are ready to listen to them and address them when the time comes. But what is important is that you should not look at only established business houses and their projects. For that, there are many other investors. There are investment banks, there are pension funds, there are insurance funds. I think your role should be slightly differentiated. We need to grow not only our infrastructure sector, we need to grow our manufacturing sector. No country can become a major economy without having a manufacturing base. In fact, in the United States, I found to my great and pleasant surprise that they are rediscovering the virtues of manufacturing and are placing emphasis on becoming a manufacturing power once again. They want to revive their automobile industry. They want to revive their electronics industry, space that had yielded to other countries some years ago. I'm happy about it, but that's the right way to go about it. If that is good for the United States, it is good for India in greater measure. We have to become a manufacturing country. How can we afford to import what 1.3 billion people will require in terms of manufactured goods? If the Tatas can make steel in the UK, let's say some kind of a special steel, why can't they make that special steel in India? Basic goods, why can't we manufacture it in India? Therefore, while in the past few months my colleagues and I have emphasized the role of infrastructure, I want to emphasize the role of manufacturing. We need new products, we need new designs, we need new ideas. We need new uses for products with a bit of redesigning and re-engineering. And I would therefore urge you, private equity and venture capitalists, to set for yourself the target of identifying 500 new and upcoming ventures in the manufacturing sector and try to fund them. Some of them will fail, but many of them, if the ideas are basically a good idea, will succeed. What they are starved of is capital, and if capital is provided to them, I'm sure they will succeed. The second that I would like you to do is not only finance these entrepreneurs, but mentor them. Mentor them on what good financial practices are, what good corporate governance is, why good labor relations promotes productivity, and why ethical behavior is the best policy in the long run. I think you should not only finance such entrepreneurs, but mentor them and help them become good citizens and good entrepreneurs. And the third point that I would like to make, especially to
Okay, the finance minister clearly urging global investors that don't write off the India story, is making a strong case that the economy has bottomed out. He's committed to reforms which only will attract foreign inflows, and that's what I guess we need. Markets, meanwhile, what do we have there? A steady recovery from the day's low. The bank nifty has not recovered at all. Actually, the fact that the bank nifty is refusing to recover, what does that indicate?
That just indicates